Welcome, this is Oz, Peter. Today I'm going to show you a project which I have received a phone call for a little maintenance before the selling of the house. The contract has been made by hand on a paper signed by the client. Another day, another road. So down there they have been informed about work. Yeah, so we're gonna make a mess. We're gonna destroy this all. The beans are really in a beautiful state. All this. So my partner has started to cut the floor using special tools and using a harness for his safety, as we are working in high. Specialist in slope. And here is me, Peter, in action. So before going on the balcony, we have switched and I have put on the harness. Now, me, expert carpenter, builder, I started to work with my companion who was looking after my safety, putting plates of wood in a way that I can work safely and inspect the rest of the balcony. Putting nails on each corner of the plates in a way that the plate do not fall down. For those asking, a real carpenter do not miss his nail, right? Now that we are finally in a safe position to inspect, it's time to look on the construction what the client has said to not touch it. But as a first look, all under the frame was total rot. While we're walking on the platform, the wall was shaking, as you saw that the glass slat from the windows was completely lost and the state looks really bad. Here is me putting my hand and you can see that it is total rot. The entire wall looks very bad and I am explaining in the video that it should be reinforced while we are working. So putting a pin and connecting to each pin and then to the wall, just in the case that it stays with us up there. So it doesn't fall that way. Hey guys, how's it going? I hope you guys doing well. So, floor is off, plates are in, nails are in, so we can stay on top of it. We have screwed the bin to the construction, so it doesn't go that way, like I said before. Now, we are removing the glass one by one. It is necessary as 60% of the wood is rot, so I rather remove the glass, right, have an easy way of removing the rot wood and replacing with hardwood, and then putting back, right, the glass back in. Now, one glass was damaged, so when it was a little crack, then the glass is gone. What can we do? Get a new glass, right? Nothing hard to do. So stay tuned and let's make this balcony a real balcony, right? So the client has asked me to only change the glass slat, but as you can see that the total construction is entirely rotten. So the glass could fall anytime as the glass slat was entirely rotten, but there is no place to put a screw or a nail as the wood is rot, so it wouldn't be holding the glass. There is no chance to keep that, especially that if you look from the outside. This is the view from the exterior, where you can see that the shape looks very bad. You can see that it's being only reinforced with some plates, which aren't enough. Even the middle one. Nice total loss. You were really lucky that it didn't fall all down. It was just holding here, but the entire wall, it was a question of time that it would completely collapse. As you can see here, this balcony was in dangerous condition. The wooden structure was rotten, as I have just shown, and this posed a serious safety risk according to the Dutch bouwbesluit, building decree and general safety norms, and any construction that risk collapse or injury must be repaired or replaced immediately. As a qualified carpenter and builder with years of experience and a proven track record, I have the duty to act when I identify such a hazard. I inform the client verbally that if the rod extended in the main structure, I would have to remove the affected part completely. After removing the floor plates, it became clear that the rod was severe and had compromised the load-bearing elements of the balcony. At this point, under the bouwbesluit and my professional responsibility, leaving this balcony in the condition would have been against the law and against safety standards. Therefore, I was obligated to dismantle an unsafe structure in order to rebuild it according to Dutch building norms, ensuring it is safe, stable, and compliant. This was not optional work, it was urgent, necessary, and legally required to protect the safety of the resident and the public. Starting by the floor. From the very beginning of these projects, all work was documented every day, every step, with videos and photos. Much of it was even shared on my professional Instagram account, where I showcase my projects. This job started not as a luxury upgrade, but as an earned safety compliance. The structure was unsafe, and I acted accordingly to the Dutch bouwbesluit and my professional duty to repair it. Later, after the safety work had begun, the client asked me and my team to close the balcony entirely, to restore it fully how it looked before. He gave us a green light to continue, knowing this was additional work beyond the original scope. We agreed to continue under a verbal agreement instead of charging the full price for the extra work. We would negotiate fairly, and he would give us another project on one of his other properties in return. This was done in good faith to help the client and maintain the relationship. At the beginning, the only extra charge we required was 50 euros for screws, despite the fact that we ended up using over 2,000 euros worth of our own materials to build the balcony at our own cost. The client that paid 50 euros without any problem. The next day, however, because we had no income, no money left in the bank due to unpaid bills, including from this same client, I asked for a small 20 euro payment to buy extra glue and other necessary materials. Instead of agreeing, the client began to argue about unrelated tasks inside the property that were never part of the agreement, while we were working day and night late into the evening to complete the balcony, despite our hard work, professionalism, and the fact that this was extra work done at the fraction of the real cost. The client immediately refused to pay the outstanding amount. This has left us with unpaid materials, unpaid labor, and serious financial damage, even though the client has fully benefited from a safe rebuilt balcony compliant with Dutch building standards. This is about a project in Zwolle, valued around 15,000. The client had been waiting patiently for me to start for quite some time. He already invested a lot of money in scaffolding, which was installed and ready for the job. Unfortunately, due to serious payment issues with another client, who still owes me a large amount, and this client for completed work, I did not have the funds to cover the materials, transport, and preparations needed to begin the Zwolle project on time. I informed the Zwolle client of the situation and explained that I could not move forward without receiving payment. from the previous client and this client. This was not a matter of unwillingness, but a matter of financial impossibilities caused by non-payment for work I already completed. Because of this, I could not attend the site as planned. The scaffolding stood unused, costing the Zwolle client more money every day. Ultimately, the project was lost for both of us. This situation shows how the non-payment from one client can cause a chain reaction, not only damaging my business, but also causing loss to other clients who were counting on me. In this case, the unpaid debt directly caused by the cancellation of the marriage program were 15,000, damaging my reputation and resulting in wasted costs for the Zwolle client. I am officially seeking full payment for the losses I suffered due to the cancellation of Zwolle project, which was valued at 15,000 euros. This project was lost entirely because another client failed to pay me for complex work. Without those funds, I could not purchase the materials, arrange transport, or mobilize my team to start Zwolle job. As a direct result, it's not only lost of 15,000 euro project income, but my Zwolle client has suffered financial losses, having already invested heavily in scaffolding that stood unused. This situation has damaged my professional reputation, my business operation. In addition to the project loss, I am also claiming an extra 5,000 in compensation for the severe stress, financial hardship, and disruption this non-payment has caused me. I have been left without the ability to pay my rent for several months. I have the advocate at my door, and I'm facing the risk of losing my home. This is not just a business matter, this is a matter of survival. The unpaid debt has directly pushed me into a situation where I cannot cover my basic living expenses. Not only mine, but my partners as well. The financial and emotional pressure has been extreme, and this is only fair that I am compensated for both the financial loss and the personal damage caused by this situation. During this project, I have worked over 12 hours a day, me and my colleague, often until midnight and sometimes even longer, to make sure the job was completed as fast as possible. The client had informed me that he needed the work finished urgently because he had to leave to the country. Out of respect for his situation and commitment to delivering on time, I pushed myself and my team to work far beyond normal hours, day after day, without delays. This means sacrificing personal time, rest, and even other scheduled work, so the client could have his property completed before his departure, as he wanted to sell. We worked all in condition late into night to meet his deadline. Despite the extra commitment, the client has still not paid the full amount owed. I fulfilled my responsibility, completely delivering a safe, professional and finished result with the urgent time frame he requested. It's only fair and reasonable that the payment reflects the reality of the worker, not just the material and craft machine, but the extreme hours and effort invested to meet the client's urgent needs. After calculating all of our hours, materials, and the full scope of work completed on this project, the amount owed for the work itself is 12,500 euros. In addition to the worker payment, we are also claiming 5,000 each, of total of 10,000 for the severe stress, disruption, and damage this situation has caused to our businesses and personal lives. This includes months of financial hardship, being unable to pay rent, and having legal threats at our door. On top of that, we are also claiming 15,000 for the loss of another confirmed project in Zwolle. That project was cancelled solely because the payment for this work was withheld, leaving us without the funds to start the Zwolle job. In total, the amount we are seeking is 12,500 for the completed work on this project, and 10,000 for stress and business damages, 15,000 euros for the lost Zwolle project. This brings the total claim to 37,500 euros. We have all proof, including videos, photos, and documentation showing that the work was completed to professional standards, that extra hours and urgent timeline were requested by the client, and that the loss of the other project was a direct result of this non-payment. We are seeking immediate settlement of this amount to cover the work done, the damages caused, and the additional losses suffered as the direct consequence of this situation. At the time we stopped work on this project, we literally had only €5 in our bank. We had no money left for a living cost and no ability to continue without payment for the work we had already completed. On the day we decided to stop, the balcony had already been rebuilt fully to safety standards, compliant with the Dutch bouwbesloot and required norms. This was no longer a safety risk. The urgent work had been completed to protect the property and the people using it. We called the police that day to ensure everything was handled transparently. The attending officer created an official report, inspected the completed balcony, saw all our tools and materials on site, and spoke directly to the property owner. We made it clear to both the police and the owner that our only request at that point was to collect our tools and materials and walk away until the outstanding bill was paid in full. We have all the proof, including the police report, video of the finished work, and evidence of our financial situation at the time, showing that we acted professionally, responsibly, and within our rights. The only reason we left the site was because the client refused to pay, leaving us in a position where we could not survive financially. We also have a statement from the residents living directly below the balcony in question. They confirmed that they had concerns about the safety of this balcony for more than 2 years. Ever since they moved in, the doubts were only confirmed when they saw the rotten wood being removed during our work. On a Monday, July 14th, we posted a sign in front of the door warning about the upcoming balcony work. We personally introduced ourselves to them, explained the nature of the job, and told them that if they had any questions or complaints, they could speak to us directly. A little over a week later, the backyard was filled with large pieces of rotten wood from the balcony. In their words, confirming their suspicion that the structure above was unsafe. The neighbors was also note that the reason the balcony remains unfinished is due to a dispute between us and the property owner, not because the safety risk was ignored. We stopped work only because the client refused to pay, despite the fact that we had already completed the most critical safety work and rebuilt the balcony structure to comply with Dutch building norms. This statement from the neighbor is a further independent proof that 1. The balcony was indeed unsafe before our intervention. 2. Our work addressed real safety concerns confirmed by those living under it. 3. Any delays in finishing was a direct result of non-payment, not our lack of professionalism. From the beginning, it became clear to the property owner main goal was not to properly restore or maintain the balcony, but due to a quick cleanup so he could put the property up for sale without facing major repair costs. Instead of addressing the real safety issues, his focus was on making the place look presentable enough for potential buyers, while avoiding the kind of investment that genuine structural repairs require. When I inspected the balcony, it was obvious that there were significant rot and serious safety concern. As a professional, I could not, in good conscience, simply cover up or give it a cosmetic fix that will have be against the Dutch building safety norms and my own professional standards. The owner was hoping this job would be a quick, inexpensive patch-up, but once I discovered the true extent of the damage, I had to act according to the law and rebuild the structure properly. That decision was about safety, not about cutting corners. Unfortunately, once the work became a proper safety rebuild and not just a cosmetic cleanup, the owner was no longer willing to pay what was owed. Even thought he benefited from the work that was completed. Your Honor, I stand before you today, not as someone avoiding responsibility, but as a professional builder with a proven track record over 1,200 projects, completed a 5-star review on Google, and a reputation built on delivering safe, high-quality work in full compliance with Dutch building norms. In this case, I was hired to address a serious safety risk. Upon inspecting, I discovered several rot in the balcony structure, a danger not only to the property owner but also to the resident living below. Under the Dutch bus lot, I had a legal and professional duty to act, covering up the damage or doing a cosmetic quick fix, as the owner initially intended would have been unsafe, illegal, and against my professional ethics. I documented every step of the process with daily videos, photos, individual, even public updates on my professional Instagram. The neighbors themselves provided a written statement confirming their long-standing concerns about the balcony's safety and how the removal of the rotten wood confirmed those fears. A police officer also attended the site, inspected the completed safety work, and documented our peaceful request to collect our tools and materials until payment was made. The fact are simple. 1. The work was necessary, urgent, and completed to safety standards. 2. Additional work was authorized verbally by the client, who gave me green light to proceed. 3. I supplied over 2,000 euros of my own materials, worked over 12 hours a day, often until midnight, to meet his urgent deadline before leaving to the country. 4. The client paid only 50 euros for screws and later refused further payment, despite benefiting from a safer rebuilt balcony. 5. His non-payment directly caused the loss of another confirmed project worth 15,000 euros and has left me in a severe financial hardship, unable to pay my rent, with legal threats on my own door. My total claim is as follows: 12,500 euros for the completed work and materials, 10,000 euros for stress damages to my business and my partners, and financial hardships, 15,000 euros for the loss of Zvole projects. That is a total of 37,500 euros. I have brought complete evidence, videos, photos, received, witness statement, the police report, and proof of personal standing. This is not a dispute over quality, speed, or scope. This is simply a case of work completely benefit received, and payment wrongfully withheld. Your Honor, I have fulfilled my duty in full. I have lawfully, professionally, and in the best interest of safety, the law, the fact, and fairness. Or all on my side. I respectfully request that the court orders immediate payment for the full amount owed, so that justice can be severed without further delays. Adding that the client have paid 1,500 from the contract what we have agreed on, which I am deducting already from the total cost what we are seeking to claim. Your Honor, my entire career has been built on hard work, honesty, and helping others. I always gone above and beyond for my clients, sometimes even at my own expenses, because I believed in trust, in building a relationship, and in delivering on my word. But this situation and others like it are pushing me to the edge. We are not only facing non-payments. In this case, there are several other jobs where we have not been paid for completed work. This is creating a chain reaction that threatens everything we have worked for. We are at risk of losing our vehicles, the tools, property, and ultimately our businesses. There are no luxuries, there are very means by which we earn a living, support our families, and continue contributing to our community. I am not here to ask for anything I have not earned. I am here to ask for what is rightfully owed to me, and for the damages that have been caused by those who choose to not honor the obligation without this payment. We stand to lose not only our livelihood, but everything we own. With it, we can stabilize, keep working, keep helping others, and continue serving our clients with the same dedication we always have. I respectfully ask for justice in this matter, full payment for what is owed, and recognition of the damage that has been done, so that we can move forward, recover, to continue to contribute positively to the community. I would also like to point out that both of both I and my partner are from overseas. Sadly, we have experienced situations where people seems to believe that they can advantage of us without consequences, delaying or refusing payment, knowing that we may have fewer resources or network to fight back. In this case, that attitude has been combined with a disregard for basic safety, not only for us, but for the neighbors and anyone who might be affected by the condition of this property. Safety standards are not optional, and respect for those who carry out this work should not depend on where they come from. We have worked in good faith, we have acted lawfully, and we have delivered a result that protects the property and the people around it. All what we are asking is the fair and lawful payment for that work, and a recognition that I think people directly because they're from another country is unacceptable in business and in life.